Hello, BookTube. Well, it's Friday, and that, of course, means Friday Reads. And I wanted to do a quick video and show you some of the books that I'll be reading this weekend. The 5 books that I will certainly be reading this weekend, no matter what else I read. I have a couple of things I need to do for a deadline, but these will be the bulk of it. And they share one thing in common. They span the spectrum, although I don't think I have any of the made-up stories. No, I do. I have fiction. They share one main thing in common, and that's because today is, in addition to Friday Reads, is also the end of the month. It's the end of March, which always, at the end of every month, provokes in me a desperate attempt to read some of the books piled up in that month before it's over, and I have a whole new month to deal with. Tomorrow is April, and all of April's books need to be moved up onto the top shelf, and they will all be clamoring for attention, which doesn't make it impossible to give some attention to March books. I'm not going to draw a hard and fast line when there are seriously good March books that I haven't got to yet, in terms mainly of writing about, but also some reading. But it's definitely going to sway me. All of those April books with more coming every day, it's definitely going to sway me. So on the last day of every month, I make a sort of a desperate push. And that's what I'll probably be doing this weekend. And I wanted to show you these books anyway. If I read more than this, it won't be holdover March books. It will be things that I need to do for other reasons. But the first one is something we've seen on this channel before, although not in finished copy, I don't think. This is Annie Jacobsen, Phenomena. And this is her study of the United States government, various agencies in the United States government, the DEA, NSA, the CIA, the DIA, which most Americans don't even know about, but has a vast amount of money at its disposal, just knows more money than God. The efforts that all of those various agencies and bureaus have made over the years to study paranormal phenomenon, telepathy, telekinesis, that sort of thing. With no tangible results, of course, because those things don't exist, but with a lot of fascinating stories along the way. A lot of fascinating people, many of whom this author talked to this author for the first time. Tons and tons of declassified information that this author had access to. So I've been meaning to read this book. I want to get it out of the way before the month is over, or before the month is long over. And then the next one is a big fat biography, one of two. Yes, two in this group. I think we've seen it on this channel. I feel terrible that I haven't gotten to it by now. It's this. It's Beyond Borders, Kahlil Gibran, Beyond Borders. A big new biography of Kahlil Gibran, the author of The Prophet, who is a Boston boy and who has a fascinating story. I've only read it in Wikipedia style brief snippets and outlines, never a fully detailed thing, and I really want to get to it. I will finally be getting to it, and that it might be first. And then a great big book, another big fat biography. This is Marc Eliot's biography of Charlton Heston, with the ridiculously sexist subtitle, Hollywood's Last Icon. If Meryl Streep isn't an icon, a Hollywood icon now, I don't know who is, or Helen Mirren, or any of these other people who are still alive and just happen to be women. But I think I get the author's gist. And he wrote a really good biography of Cary Grant, who is a very difficult person to write a really good biography of, and a very easy person to write a bad biography of. And as far as I know, no one has ever done the full-length biographical treatment for Charlton Heston before. People who have been content to use him as a punchline, for various reasons and causes, but never actually to delve into what he was like. And so I had this on the shelf, and again, I've been looking forward to it, and I just haven't got to it. So it'll be one of the 2 biographies I definitely read this weekend. And then something that will probably give me a little bit of tailwind. It'll probably free up a little time, because it won't take much time. I won't be reading it narratively. I won't be reading it in the way that I'll read these other things, but still, I'm fascinated by it. It's Pete Dunne's book on birds of prey, which is it's a guidebook. It has all the pictures and everything, but it has tons of text. And this is not an author to underestimate. He will have a tangy one-liner on almost every page, I'd be willing to bet. So although I will read this attentively, I don't think it will take the kinds of concentration or time that the rest of these things will take. And then the last thing I want to show you for today is this. It's The Whole Art of Detection by Lyndsay Faye. I never got a finished copy of it, but maybe I can find one at the Globe or the Monitor, because I definitely want one. Because this is a collection of Sherlock Holmes pastiche stories by Lyndsay Faye, who's made a lifetime out of writing them, and who writes them really well. For years, she was the only reason why I ever bought the Strand magazine, the new incarnation with that has the same name as the magazine in which Holmes first appeared, because there have been many, many issues of Strand magazine where she was the only good thing in it, and always writing a Sherlock Holmes story. So I kind of wish, my one complaint about this book is its cover, of course, because if those of you who might be familiar with the new American Strand magazine, the one that I'm talking about, some of their covers over the years have been absolutely beautiful paintings, modern day, originally commissioned paintings of Victorian street scenes, meant to evoke not only the original Strand magazine, but also the Sherlock Holmes stories that were inside each issue. I don't know why. The publisher here, who is this? Mysterious Press. Okay, so they're as connected as they could be. I don't know why they didn't ask one of those artists, or Strand magazine itself, to reprint one of those covers here, instead of this blurry monstrosity. But I will not judge the book by its cover. I know I've read a lot of the things that are in here before, but I think there are some things in here that have never been collected. And what a treat that will be. What a treat that will be. To read a whole book of Sherlock Holmes pastiche stories done by someone who knows what she's doing. Oh my. So that is, in brief, my Friday reads. It's all March catch-up before April hits me like a ton of bricks coming down a mountainside. There's the whole Art of Detection. There's Birds of Prey, a nature guide, probably with lots of meat on the bone. There's a big fat biography of Charlton Heston, a big fat biography of Kahlil Gibran, and Phenomena, a multi-departmental study of the United States government's investigation of the mysterious powers of the mind. And that's my Friday reads, or the bare bones of it. The Sherlock Holmes pastiche stories will be fast reading. The Birds of Prey nature guide will be fast reading. And the other three will be the bulk of what I do. And the rest of the time will be given over to deadline stuff, which is, I don't mean to make it sound unpleasant. It's not unpalatable. It just will take time. And then, boom, we'll be right into April. Oh my God, a new month. So I'll see you then. And in the meantime, of course, since this is Friday Reads, I'd love to know what you're all reading. I'll watch all of your videos, but feel free to leave extra info in the comments section. And I'll see you soon. Thank you, BookTube.